All right, so I'll just tell you up front, there's like 6 steps. So again, it's tedious. It's not really hard. It's just a lot of extra steps. And on this handout, like the data has like 16, 17 numbers. We would never do that on a quiz or a task. It would take you way too long. So you'll have like half the amount of numbers. So off to the side, you're going to draw a table that has 3 columns. So the first one you're going to put X, and then the next one we're going to put FRQ, and that's going to stand for frequency. And then the last one you're going to put X minus X bar, and I'm going to tell you what X bar is.
Is that FC?
Oh, FRQ. Q. No, that still looks bad. All right, so X, we use that to represent our numbers. So what's the smallest shoe size that we have? 6, and then we have 7 all the way up to what? 11. So those are our X values. The frequency is how many times it's there. So how many 6s did we have? 2, and 7 was 2, 8 was 4, 9, 4, 10 was 3, and 11 was what? Okay, so the way that you do the standard deviation, after the first step, you have to take all of your data, which this is our data, and we have to subtract the mean from it. So X with the line on top, that represents the mean. Okay. So in math, as you guys know, if we can make a symbol instead of writing a word, we will always make a symbol. So if you go on the AP Stat, no one's ever going to write the word mean. They're going to put a symbol because you just don't want to write it. So don't copy this part down just yet. If I do 6 minus 8.4 for this first 6, and then I do it again for the second 6, am I going to get the same answer or a different answer? The same answer. So that's why I had to do the frequency, because if not, a lot of you are going to do 6 minus 8.4, 6 minus 8.4, 7 minus 8.4, 7 minus 8.4, and you're going to do it over and over when you're going to get the same answer. It won't be wrong, but just imagine putting that all into your calculator. So that's why we put the frequency, so that we can shorten our steps. And you actually can make it even shorter than this, but I'm going to do it like step by step by step. And then if you want me to show you how to do it faster later, then I will. All right, so step 2, you're going to subtract the mean, which is X bar, from each X value. So again, it's not hard, it's just going to be tedious. So you're not going to like it, I already know up front. So you're going to tell me what 6 minus 8.4 is, what 7 minus 8.4 is, what's 8 minus 8.4, 9 minus 8.4, 10 minus 8.4, and then 11 minus 8.4. Okay, so what's 6 minus 8.4? Negative 2.4, and then the next one's going to be negative 1.4, and then 0.4. Thank you. So that's step 2. And again, some of these steps you can do all together. So like during second period, I did steps 2, 3, and 4 all together. And then they looked at me like I was crazy. So that's why I'm doing them individually. But if you're good with the calculator or you're good with calculations, you can group some of these together. So your third step is going to be to square your answers from step 2. So you're going to do whatever the heck negative 2.4 squared is, and make sure you use parentheses because a negative times a negative is a positive. So all of these numbers should be positive. So if you have a scientific calculator, you could do a lot of these all typed in at one time. But for today, we're just going to do them individually. Is it off center? Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what's negative 2.4 times negative 2.4? 5.76, and then 1.4 and 1.4 together. So it's going to be a negative times a negative, which gives me a positive. And then 0.4 squared should be 0.16, and the next one's going to be 0.36, right? What's 1.6 squared? 2.56. And then the last one, 2.6 squared times 2, or 2.6 squared or 2.6 times 2.6 is what? 6.76. Okay, so what makes standard deviation tedious is that you have to take each of your data values, subtract them from the mean, and square them. So we only did 6 once, but how many 6s did I actually have? 2. We only did 7 once, but I actually had how many 7s? 2. And then I only did 8 once, but I actually had 4 of them. So we're trying to make it shorter. Otherwise, you're going to have to do 6 minus 8.4 squared. We did this in 2 steps instead of 1. Then you have to do it again, blah, 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 blah. Which we could do it this way. So if you want me to do it the long way, I totally can. So everything has to be subtracted and squared. But instead of doing this twice, what can I do instead to make it faster? Multiply by 2. So you're going to multiply this number by 2, this number by 2. How many should I multiply for this one? 4. So you're going to multiply them. And again, you could do this all in one step, but just for today, we're going to take it step by step. And the last one was only there once, so do I really need to multiply by 1? No, I'll just write it anyway. Where can I write? All right, so I'm not going to write down the numbers, so I'm confident you guys can multiply by 2, multiply by 4, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to include this step, but if you want to include it, all we did was multiply by the frequency. So I'm going to put FRQ. What the heck? I heard you.